So it's been announced that there was going to be another mashup movie in the same vein as Freddy vs. Jason, Batman vs. Superman. It's going to be two of the original Titans and the original rivals. It's going to be King Kong versus Godzilla. So it was announced that in order to have this movie, it's going to be coming out in 2020. So there's going to be two movies released before 2020. And the Godzilla vs. King Kong movie, there'll be standalone movies. One will be Kong Skull Island, and the other will be Godzilla 2. So I guess those two movies will eventually end up leading up to the big showdown between those two Goliaths. I remember reading that since it is Godzilla 2, this will be related to the most recent Godzilla movie, the Bryan Cranston version. The King Kong movie, it seems like that's going to be separate from the Peter Jackson movie with Jack Black. They could be all tied in together, but I just kind of got the impression that it'll be separate. This will be a different King Kong movie, but they will still be using the same continuity from the Godzilla movie. So, should be very interesting. I know they did a King Kong vs. Godzilla movie like back in the 60s or something, so this should be interesting to see how it pans out. Because the last Godzilla movie did very well, so we should see if it does well when these two go head-to-head in 2020. It's been announced that there is going to be another Die Hard movie, Die Hard 6. It's going to be helmed by Len Wiseman, who directed Live Free or Die Hard, or Die Hard 4. And the twist in this movie is that even though Bruce Willis is going to be reprising his role as John McClane, as he should, there's no other John McClane, it's going to be a prequel set in 1979 when John McClane is just getting started out and he's learning all the skills that make him John McClane. So they're going to be hiring another younger actor to be playing that McClane. So let me say this, I'm a huge Die Hard fan, like the entire series. I didn't really care for 5, I actually liked 4. 3 is phenomenal, 2 I think it's crapped on more than it should, and 1 sets the standard, is the greatest action movie of all time and is like just like the grandfather of modern day action movies in my opinion. So I'm always excited when they're doing Die Hard movies, but there's no denying that ever since probably Die Hard 4, going from Die Hard 4 to Die Hard 5, and there's sort of like little inklings of it in Die Hard 3, they're making McClane to be more of a superhero guy. In the original Die Hard, he was a cop, but he was a regular guy who was thrown into a situation that he didn't want to be in, and he wanted to hand it off to the cops, but he had to save his wife, and so he had to do what he had to do. And then throughout the rest of the movies, he became more super cop, which I get from the standpoint of, look, if one guy has all this crazy stuff happen to him and he handles it like the way he handles it throughout his career, at some point he's going to be this grizzled kind of super cop guy. Like, he's learned from all these experiences, so he knows how to handle it. So I get from a character development standpoint, he's not going to be this wide-eyed, like, oh my god, I can't believe this is happening again. But if we're getting to a point where he's now so grizzled and so jaded by everything that nothing phases him, then maybe, I can't believe I'm saying this, maybe we should stop making Die Hard movies. God, I hate myself for saying that, because I really do think that there's some potential here, but I'm still going to see this movie, but I'm not thrilled. And neither is the internet. The internet's going wild, saying like this is the dumbest idea in the world. But we shall see. The movie I saw this week was Bridge of Spies. So acting was great, writing was great. It was a long movie. It was 2 hours and 21 minutes. And for the subject matter though, again, I said not something that I'm normally interested in. I felt that they took a story that seems interesting but doesn't really capture my attention, and captured my attention the entire time. So I give this movie 3 ticket stubs out of 3. It was just a phenomenal movie and just a well-told story, and I definitely think you should check it out. Thank you for watching Hip Hop and Movie News. This week's 15-second film reenactment comes from GT Deterring. I'll see you guys next week. Have a happy October 21st, aka Back to the Future Day. Especially you, Dan Troy. I know you're going to have a good one.
I'm funny how? I mean funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you. I make you laugh. I'm here to fucking amuse you. What do you mean funny? Funny how? How am I funny?